Shalom, shalom. I want to start off this video by saying, Call Halayim La, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well, where I learn the truth, the 100% truth according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the Lord's elect, the 144,000 of men, prophets, servants scattered abroad the four winds of the earth. And shalom as well to you sincere believers out there that believe in the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy. Shalom. And in today's lesson, I'm actually titled it, The Mighty Lord Sendeth the Plagues. And I'm going to be titling today's video that, building off of this article that I'm going to read here that I got from End Time Headlines. And as you can see, it says, former CDC director gives a chilling warning regarding Ebola outbreak, right? So it says, according to a report from The Hill, former Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Robert Redfield expressed grave concerns Wednesday about the escalating Ebola outbreak in Africa, predicting it could evolve into a very significant pandemic, right? And I'm actually look up the meaning to that word pandemic, right? We're going to pull out the meaning to that. Because this is what you basically have this Edomite coming out and basically saying that, you know, this Ebola virus that's over there spreading in the Congo, that ultimately this can turn to a pandemic, right? Which we know that, you know, the Lord is going to, you know, unleash pestilences, you know, all throughout the earth to bring forth judgment. So, you know, these diseases that we see spreading, hey, it's the Lord that's doing these things, man. Even if Esau is, you know, genetically engineering and creating these things in labs, right? The Lord is controlling this man on the left-hand side and making him do these things. All of this is all being orchestrated by the Lord at the end of the day, you see? But this is the meaning of the word pandesi on AR Overview on Google. It says a pandemic is an infectious disease that spreads across multiple countries, right? Or continents, affecting a large number of people. Unlike an epidemic, which is localized to a specific region, a pandemic crosses international borders and generally impacts a substantial portion of the global population, right? And that's basically what you have this guy, you know, that I'm going to get back into the article and we're going to read, saying that ultimately, you know, this Ebola strand that's now over there in the Congo, that ultimately it can spread throughout the earth, right, into other places, you see. And like I said, man, we know that Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to unleash all type of various different plagues upon this earth, man. And we already see them happening now, but ultimately they're going to increase, right? But I'm actually grab this scripture right here, 2nd Esdras 15:49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death, right? And we all know what pestilence goes into. That goes into sicknesses, viruses, right? All of the things that you see, you know, occurring and, you know, spawning throughout the planet Earth, right? You got that HV that they're talking about. Now you got this new Ebola strand. Now you got this other one that they was talking about. You know, I forgot the name of it, but it was the, what was it? Oh, yeah, you still got the so-called bird flu, right? And all of these other different ones that they've been talking about the last few months. So, I mean, we just been seeing an increase of these different, you know, pestilences and viruses arising, man. And ultimately, they're going to get worse, you know, as it tells you in 2nd Esdras 16, right? And I'll go down to verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Yeah, man. And we don't see anything here in the planet Earth slacking. We just continue to see things coming and coming and coming, man. Right? Evils multiplying and getting worse in the earth. Right? Verse 38, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. And that's exactly what you see being brought all throughout the earth. That's what the Lord is bringing upon the earth, right? Sorrows, man, right? Which we're going to go into that word sorrows, the meaning of that. Sorrows are a feeling of deep, prolonged sadness, distress, or regret, typically caused by a significant loss or misfortune, right? In the plural form, the word refers to the specific events or situations that bring about that heavy emotional pain. And that's exactly what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is doing, man, and what he's going to continue to do, man, especially as we see things get worse, man, right? The Lord is getting ready to bring emotional distress upon these people, man, in the world. Miseries, right? These are the things that are getting ready to, come full effect, man. You see? So let me get back into that article and we'll read some more of it. I'm going to start back where I left off. It says, Redfield speaking on News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas reports highlighted the outbreaks concerning trajectory, noting its presence primarily in Congo and Uganda. He warned of likely further spread, stating, I suspect this is going to become a very significant pandemic. Probably going to leak into Tanzania, leak into Southern Sudan, maybe leak into Rwanda. He added, so it's going to be very disruptive. Health officials in the affected nations have reported 536 suspected cases, 105 probable cases, 34 confirmed cases, and approximately 134 suspected deletions. Redfield emphasized the outbreak's scale and the delay in detection as key factors, amplifying the risk, right? This is an outbreak right now that is really a significant outbreak that's of significant public health international concern, partially because it wasn't recognized very quickly. I'm not sure why he told anchor Elizabeth Vargas. He contrasted the current situation with past responses, recalling 3 Ebola outbreaks he managed as CDC director, all in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. Those were typically identified early with far fewer cases. Normally, when we have these Ebola outbreaks, normally we recognize them when we have 5 to 10 cases. At most, Redfield explained, this one really wasn't picked up until there was over 100 cases. Now there's over 500 cases. There's close to 150 unalivings already, and it's moving very rapidly. So basically, he's saying that this new strand, right, of Ebola is spreading more faster than all of the last or the other strains they had in the past or whatnot, right? And ultimately, like I said, because all of these things are being sent out by the Lord, man, the Lord is unleashing these plagues upon the earth, man. You see? Let me go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. I'm gonna go back to that chapter, right? And I'll start at verse 8. It says, the mighty Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, sendeth the plagues. And who is he that can drive them away, right? Can't nobody drive away these things that the Lord is bringing upon this earth, man, right? Because ultimately we're living in a time of great judgment that's getting ready to get poured down the pipeline, man. So as I brought out earlier, right, the plagues draw nigh and they're not slack. You're going to only continue to see things get worse, man, throughout the planet earth, right? 2nd Esdras chapter 14. And I start at verse 16. For yet greater evils, right, bad times, than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter, right? Verse 17, for look how much the world shall be wicked through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Talking about the people that dwell within the earth, right? So as we see things getting worse, people are going to bug out more and all of these various different things. But guess what? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he's going to be with his elect in the midst of all of these things that are getting ready to come upon the earth and that are already occurring here in this earth, man, right? The Lord is going to ultimately, be with his remnant, those that trust in him, the sincere believers, right? Because like I said, things are going to get worse, man. You see? And let me actually go to the book of Psalms, the 91st chapter, right? Which is already pulled up, so I'm going to start at verse 1. And as you can see from the heading, it says security of the one who trusts in the Lord, right? He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. The secret place is within his truth and his word. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. And that's exactly who we're going to put our trust in, man. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You see, with everything that's coming upon the earth, with everything that's going on, all of the evil we see manifesting, we're going to trust in the Lord, man. You see, that's all we can do, right? Put our hope and trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? Verse 3, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler, right? That's going into Isaiah 33 and verse 6, how wisdom and knowledge, right, shall be the stability of thy times, the strength of salvation, the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is his treasure, right? So the Lord's elect, right, the men that have this understanding, that has this knowledge of the scriptures, right, they're going to be stable in the times that are coming with all of these evils that are plaguing the earth and everything that we see getting worse and happening. Hey, we got this knowledge and wisdom, so hey, it's going to keep us stable, man. Right? And let me actually look up that word stability, right? Because this is what the men of the Lord are going to have in these times that we're in, man, with everything that's going on. You see? So let's get that. Stability refers to the state or quality of being firm, steadfast, and unlikely to change or fail. It implies the strength to endure resistance to sudden disruption and the ability to maintain balance or quickly recover equilibrium after being disturbed. Right? So let's go down. It says the meaning of stability spans across several different contexts, right? Emotional and mental, right? And that's exactly what the elect are going to have in these times. They're going to have emotional and mental stability through the scriptures, man. Right? The scriptures is going to keep us stable, man. Right? With everything that's coming down the pipeline, everything that's going on. Right? The scriptures is going to give us that sound mind. Right? Because as it tells you in 2 Timothy, the first chapter in verse 7, right? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua have not given us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind, roughly paraphrasing. So that's what the Lord's elect are going to have in these times, man. Right? Everything we see going on, the economy getting worse, gas prices going up. I mean, these diseases spreading, everything that's going on that we see occurring. Hey, we're stable, man. We're calm, right? While everybody else around us, that don't know what's going on, the heathen, 2/3 of our own people, hey, they ass bugging out, losing their mind, man. You see, these people don't know what's going on. These people are through out here. But us on the other end, we're good, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? And we pray to the Lord ultimately to keep that spirit on us, right? Especially as things get worse, because they will get worse, But this is back at Psalms 91, and I'll start at verse 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fly by day, the arrow being the ICBM missiles, nor for the pestilence, right? The pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasted at doomsday, right? Because as I said, the Lord is going to unleash a lot of these pestilences in the earth to bring forth mass judgment upon people, man, right? But the Lord's elect, they're not going to have to worry about these things, man. Even though these things are going to be going on and things like that, hey, we're going to be good. Lord's willing, we be at that number, man. We ain't going to have to worry about what's going on, right? Even though we're going to be in the midst of these things, right? But the Lord is going to protect us, right? If we be of that number, right? But it says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, right? And 10,000 at thy right hand, right? A lot of people are going to be, unalived in these times that are coming. Mass death is getting ready to come to the earth, right? As it tells you in 2nd Esdras, the 5th chapter, which I'm going to bring that out real quick. You see? 2nd Esdras chapter 5, I started verse 1. And it says, nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number. And how is that going to happen to where the people on the earth are going to be taken in a great number? That's going to be done by the mass judgment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is getting ready to bring. Ultimately, that's going to happen due to all of these things that are coming upon the earth, the wars, the famines, the pestilence. A lot of people are going to be unalived in these times, man. Great death is coming, right? As it tells you in 2nd Esdras 16, in verse 18, the beginning of sorrows, great mournings, great famine, and great death. Hey, that's what's coming, man. You see? It says that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, right? But who are going to be the ones to have this truth? The elect, they're going to have it, right? And the land shall be barren of faith, but the elect are going to have the faith, right? But these other people out here, they're not. But the Lord's elect are going to have the faith. They're going to have his knowledge and wisdom, right? But back in Psalms 91, in verse 7 again, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee, right? Only with thine eyes shall thou behold to see the reward of the wicked, right? And that's exactly what we're going to see. We're going to see the reward of these wicked people, man, right? We're going to see these people getting jacked up out here by all these things that the Lord is bringing, you see? And ultimately, we're going to be grateful, man. We're going to be extremely grateful that we, repented, turned back to the Lord. Hey, we're going to be thankful, man. We're going to be praising Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, when the Lord, Lord's willing, we be at that number. Of course, the Lord brings us through these things that are coming, right? Hey, we're going to be rejoicing, But it says, only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, right? 2/3 of our people, right? The heathen, right? We're going to see these people get jacked up, man, right? For ultimately, our people being disobedient, being rebellious, walking after their own thoughts, following after the ways of this world, right? Not trying to seek the Lord. Hey, we're going to see these people get jacked up for that, right? But us that feared the Lord, right? That, did the things that was pleasing unto him to the best of our abilities. Hey, we're going to be the ones in these times, being protected, And people are going to see this as well, man, right? That's how in these times they're going to know who the Lord's men are, right? That's why it tells you in 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 73, then shall they be known who are my chosen, right? People are going to know who the men of the Lord are because, hey, the Lord is going to be protecting those that are of his elect, right? He's going to be, coming through on their behalf, protecting them, aiding them, right? As it tells you on down in this chapter, I'm going to finish reading, right? The angels are going to be protecting brothers from all of the things that are coming, right along with you hopeful elect sisters out there as well, right? It says, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, which is my refuge, even the most high power of thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways, right? And what does it say in Psalms 34:7? The angels of the Lord encampeth round about those that fear him and delivereth them. And that's what the Lord going to be doing in these times for the elect with everything that's coming upon the earth, right? The Lord is going to be delivering them out of all of these troubles that are getting ready to come, right? Because we're definitely living in a time of troubles, man, right? And things are only going to get worse, you see. So with that being said, Lord's willing, I pray this video be edifying to you brothers and you sisters out there. With that being said, I'm going to end it by saying, Call Halayim La, Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahushai Ba'ashim, Rakakudash. Till the next time, Kwam Yasharallah and Shalom to the Lord's elect. Shalom.